Um, so this is my opinion or my take on the whole Roe versus Wade, debacle. Um, while I don't think that the bending is just, I don't necessarily think that the bending it should be like up in arms as much as it is. And my reasoning being is that a large percentage of women who did partake in abortion would only do so because of either they felt like they needed to get an abortion because their significant other wasn't going to be there, or they got an abortion because they had already enough kids and another kid added to the plate. It wasn't just financially wasn't going to work out. Or the third option being that their career just wouldn't allow them, to balance the baby and then also the career aspect. So they got an abortion. Which is, in a way, it's like, okay, but like, did you do the necessary things that you needed to do to prevent that from happening? And there are preventive measures like contraceptives and different birth control pills and other birth control methods that can avoid pregnancy. And I think a lot of women are running towards abortion as like some kind of birth control method, in that's fucking wrong. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it other than it's not right. And I know a lot of people, whenever you bring up the subject, they want to bring up, oh well, the government shouldn't be governing our bodies. Our bodies, our choice. Which is, I agree wholeheartedly, but it does get to a decision where you're not taking the necessary steps to keep yourself and your partner safe and to avoid pregnancy. And if you're not, taking birth control, then what do you expect to happen? We all know that with sex ed, we all went to sex ed, or I would think that people who are engaging in intercourse would have a knowledge of sex ed and what happens when you do certain things. And I don't know if you skipped that class or you just wasn't there that day, but if that's the case, you should not be having sex. And a lot of people bring up the fact that it's not only the people who are in that realm that are the main people using abortions, which I understand as well. But I think, because people bring up the whole case of, what about the rape victims, or what about the people who are being sexually assaulted, and then those incidences lead to pregnancy. And I understand that, but rape, the cases of rape and that leads to pregnancy is only 1% of the whole thing. So I don't know why they keep trying to make that a basis of what they're trying to convey. There's also 30% of women who they experience pregnancy due to contraceptive failures, and I understand that as well. I think at this case, 1%, which was being the rape victims, and the 30% being the contraceptive failures, and the other, like, I think it was 19% of women who use it because of like it's a risk to their life or their health. I understand those people getting abortions, but those numbers don't add up if you think about it. And most people, I think, should blame themselves for letting or allowing women to get away with abusing the system. And unfortunately, we have this situation that we are now, where the actions of it messes up the chances of 1,000 others, or not 1,000, but the others that really need this. So I I think personally, to fix the problem, I think we should kind of reprimand and kind of control it in a way where we are giving abortions to the people who actually, you know, deserve it. In a lack of better words, deserve it. The women who are rape victims and those, you know, cases that lead to pregnancies, or those women who are like physically at risk if they have children, or those women who, you know, their contraceptives pills, you know, whatever, they fell on them. I think in those cases, and only in those cases, that they should be rewarded a chance in, you know, getting abortion. But other than that, I think all other people, like, I think that we as women, we should hold other women accountable for their actions. And, you know, because actions have consequences. If you sleep with a man, you know, no condom, no birth control, no nothing, I feel like you should, you know, man up or woman up and take care of that child, because you made that mistake. You made that choice to lay with that man, and that man made that choice to live with you, and anything that happens afterwards is your responsibility, because that's the choice that you made. So I think, yeah, I think that is like the better avenue or route to take with this, because it's a very sticky situation, because as I said before, you have different situations for different cases, and those cases I feel like should be held at a higher priority versus the ones who are using it and taking it, you know, abusing the system and taking advantage of it, which isn't right. So don't necessarily think it's wrong, don't necessarily think it's the right thing, but there are ways to, you know, hold people accountable. And, you know, this is the direct cause of not holding women accountable. Now we all have to, you know, feel it.